Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. The summer event is here and it is going to be starting on the 6th of August at 11 GMT and going to the 30th of August 2021. Now, if you've never done an event like this before in War Thunder, basically you get a few challenges for aviation, ground and naval every few days. If you complete enough of the tasks in those achievements or areas, then you are able to get a star, and then once you get enough stars, you can get vehicles, decorations, decals, camouflages, all of these different things, which we will go through in the video. That's pretty much just a simple way of looking at how these things work. What I'll do in this video is we'll look at each of the vehicles individually and how to get them. We'll have a look at the decals, the decorations, the actual stars themselves on how you have to get them, and also let you into some other things as well. I'll be doing a tips and tricks video, of course, and maybe a lineups video as well, just to give you some thoughts on what I'm going to be using to try and get these things, just to give you an idea of what to do going forward. I would also like to remind you that the Take Control bundle on Humble Bundle is still going on right now. You can get yourself the YP38 with the USA Pacific campaign and the Japanese Pacific campaign with the A6M5 Co, along with stuff like the Heliborn collection, Simple Planes, Elite Dangerous, and even Overload, all for really cheap right now. At least for me, it's only $15 Canadian. It's definitely worth it to pick it up. I'll leave a link in the description. In a pinned comment just to it. We are affiliated with Humble Bundle, just to let you know, so we do get a bit of kickback from it, and also we have been supporting a charity while doing this. We have been supporting Help for Heroes for a very long time. Help for Heroes is a UK Armed Forces and Military Veterans charity, and over the last little bit we've raised nearly $700 for them, and will continue to do so. Anyway, let's get into the vehicles that are going to be available in the summer landing. There is also another little small event going on from the 30th of July to the 2nd of August, and it is to celebrate the Day of the Chinese People's Liberation Army. All you have to do is play 3 battles with 60% activity or more with Chinese vehicles of rank 2 and above, and you can get yourself the decal of the cockade of the People's Liberation Army of China. So make sure to do that, get yourself a really cool decal. It looks really nice, and I'm really happy that they do these events quite a lot. The first vehicle is a Finnish vehicle which will be appearing in the Swedish tech tree as a rank 2 premium. This is the VL Myrsky II. Now, what is interesting about this vehicle is it's actually completely domestically produced for the Finnish Air Force, and it does have access to some pretty good weaponry in the form of 4 50 caliber M2 machine guns, which take the form of the LKK-42, which are license-built versions of the guns. It can also carry some bombs alongside of that, so it'll be useful in ground forces as well, and will be a premium. In order to get this vehicle, you'll have to get 5 pilot stars and to be able to get it, and at the same time it is a premium, so it'll be always useful. And for Sweden to be able to get another Finnish vehicle, it's always pretty nice, in my opinion. I think it's a really lovely pick. There was over 50 of these built. I can understand if people would want this in the major tech tree instead of in the premium event area, but I still think it will be quite nice to see overall. Some of these things are coupons, but the lower tier stuff, so stuff like the Myrsky, are not coupons. Once you get this, or once you get the 5 stars, it will be automatically activated onto your account. In ground, you also get the Type 3 Kar-Chi. Now, this is an amphibious vehicle, which is going to be coming to the early ranks of the game. It's going to be a rank 1 premium for Japan, and also, it won't be a coupon, so you'll just automatically activate this straight away. The Type 3 Kar-Chi is one of those vehicles that is actually an end-of-the-war vehicle. There was only around 19 or 20 of them made, and they never really got away away from the Japanese homeland. One of those vehicles which never truly saw service, but also has a very interesting set of ideas behind it. It was obviously amphibious with the pontoons put onto it. It had a crew of 7 with access to a 47mm as well. And also, in the game, you're going to be able to remove the pontoons if you want to, and also the ridiculous Commander's cupola on top of it. It is a very, very fun little machine, one that I'm sure many have been looking forward to for a long time. It's going to be one of the largest machines at lower tiers to grace the battlefield, and I'm sure many people are going to use it for many different memes. In Naval, for the first prize, you have the RN Aviere, or Aviere. This is a premium destroyer, which is going to be in the Blue Water Fleet at rank 3 for the Italians. And this thing in general, looking at it, it's a Soldati class, so it's very similar to other machines that we already have in game of the Soldati class. The major difference is that this only has access to 4 of the 120mm in 2 dual turrets, one on the front and one on the back. It also has access to some 20mm guns as well, 4 of them in total, and also some torpedo tubes. So this should be a pretty good little researcher when it comes to the tech tree for Italy. Italy have a really strong 4.7 lineup, so it's definitely worth getting in there and giving it a go. This thing will be at 5 stars for Naval, and also the camouflage for it will be at 6 stars, just like the other machines where they also get the camouflages at 6 stars. You get to keep this one, you can't sell it unfortunately, but at the same time, I would definitely say this one is pretty cool. I've had a lot of fun with the other Soldati classes in the game, and hopefully this will get more people into the Italian naval tree, because the cruisers at 4.7 are incredibly strong compared to some of their other areas. The main prize for aviation is the Buccaneer S.1. This is a British aircraft, and it's going to be rank 6, and it will also be an event vehicle, so it'll have no premium bonuses. You will have to get 10 stars to be able to get this, but also it will be a coupon, so it means that if you want to sell it on the Gaijin market, you will be able to. The Buccaneer S1 is obviously the previous variant of the one that we already have in game, which is the S2, which was added, more recently to War Thunder. The S1 is the earlier variant and much more designed around just being a strike aircraft instead of having the air-to-air capabilities. This thing will not have stuff like air-to-air missiles on it, but it will still have some of the favored bomb loads that you have from the machine in the game, and also it will have a bunch of bullpups that you can bring along as well. I don't know whether this thing will get flares or not. That is something to think about. Hopefully it does. But if it doesn't, it will still be really good in its desired role as a strike aircraft. One of the little interesting tidbits of information is the S1 was actually built, 40 of them, at Bruff. And it's actually at the plant that I did work experience for when I was a lot younger, which is pretty cool. And also, it was towed to Home upon Spalding Moor for its first flight and testing, which is very close to where I'm from in England. So to me, that's pretty awesome. You know, a little bit of history, at least from my area. The BMD-4 is the main prize for the ground vehicles portion of this event, and this is a very light tank designed for the USSR. It's going to be a rank 6 event vehicle once again, so no premium bonus, but will be a coupon if you want to sell it, if you're not interested in the vehicle itself. But I'd say this is actually a pretty cool one. The BMD is a vehicle type which I've been hoping for a long time in War Thunder. With so many BMPs, it was very odd never seeing a BMD. but with the first one coming in, I think that's pretty cool. It is amphibious, since it is so light, and also it was designed to be air portable and dropped from aircraft. So the fact is, when we have a look at the summer landing event, I think you kind of get the picture of what the event's designed around. The majority of the vehicles are designed around, naval stuff, landing with the Kar-Chi and the BMD, and then also stuff such as the Buccaneer, which of course is a naval strike aircraft, and obviously the naval stuff as well. The only one that doesn't really fit is the Myrsky, but I'm sure there is a reason why that's there too. This machine shares very similar weaponry to the BMP-3. It has access to the same 100mm rifled cannon, and also has access to the 30mm autocannon. The 100mm rifle cannon can fire the ATGMs. They have a tandem warhead, which is very powerful, and also there's a thermal imager for the gunner, with everybody else getting a NVIDIA sight. The other thing to also note is this thing is incredibly lightly armored, meaning that overpressure will eat it alive, and also it has a really small compartment where the crew is, the three of them, so its survivability is going to be next to zero against stuff such as artillery, AGMs, and all of that stuff. Hopefully this thing can have a big impact in the first few minutes of the game before G91s and A4Es turn up, so you can do alright. My experience in stuff like the BMP-3 and the BMP-2M is you have a very solid 5 to 10 minutes scouting and also doing all of that, and then you get killed by AGMs. That's pretty much the life cycle of a vehicle like this, and it's why they've been constantly going down in BR over and over and over again. And I'm sure the BMD-4 will be no different to stuff like the BMP-3 in its general playstyle. Overall, a pretty fun light vehicle. Lovely to see the BMD series. Happy that it's here. And the naval offering for 10 stars is the Type 143 Bussard. This is going to be a German vehicle, rank 5 in the coastal tech tree. It's also going to be an event vehicle and a coupon once again, so keeping with the same tradition that we've seen with the rest of them. And this should be a very powerful coastal fleet machine. It's one of those machines that's kind of in the doldrums because of the BRs of it. If you want a similar machine, we already have it in game. It's the Albatross, which used to be an absolute monster in the game until they changed the destroyer DMs. Now it's definitely not as good, but still incredibly good against anything that is in the coastal fleet. It just struggles against stuff such as destroyers because it can't output as much damage against the new destroyer DMs. What is also interesting about this vehicle is it actually has some really cool torpedoes, and this shouldn't really be overlooked just because of how they work. They're basically seal single tube torpedoes, and you fire them off the back of the boat, and then they curve around and then go forward towards the enemy. They are really cool how they work. They're probably not too useful in the game, but at the same time, it's always nice to see them. There may also be a little bit of a interesting idea for a machine like this. It could have the same abilities that we see on stuff such as the Saeta when it comes to Italians, where eventually it could get access to, missiles, which would make it very powerful. And I know they've been testing stuff like missiles for a long time. Maybe a boat like this could really benefit from them going up against all of the destroyers that it does, and also, obviously, with its main armaments. This thing has two 76mm automatic guns on it, which are very powerful at dealing with anything smaller than it. Obviously, they are Auto Melara guns, and then also, it does get a little bit of a machine gun armament in the form of two high caliber and also two rifle caliber guns to be able to deal with anti-air threats. For me personally, the vehicle should be really fun. Highly depends on your matchmaking though, whether it's going to be good or not, but at the end of the day, it's one of the crowns of the coastal fleet for Germany, and it's nice to be able to get an event vehicle which is very similar to it, instead of grinding through the whole tech tree, to be able to get a very similar one. You can also get coupons for the paratrooper decals, and these are actually pretty cool. You can get 7 coupons of the paratrooper decals, and I'm guessing they're going to make it so you can't get all of them, or you can get the same one multiple times, because on top of the paratrooper decals, you can actually, if you activate all 8 of them, you can get a special emblem of the 18th Airborne Corps for the USA. So that one's a really cool one. The paratrooper decals themselves look really awesome, but also you do need to do one thing to be able to get another special decal, which is of the 323rd Parachute Ranger Squadron. What you need to do is you need to activate a key from the War Thunder Facebook page before the August the 5th, 2100 GMT basically, and you'll get this decal. Now, I don't think the post is up yet, but if we're looking at what we've seen in the past, then it will probably be something like Summer Landing in all caps or something, and you'll be able to get yourself the decal. Simple as that. So collect them all, and then you can get a unique one, just like they've done in the past. All of the decals themselves look really, really nice. I have no issues with them at all. They all look great, and make sure to get that one from Facebook so you can get the whole set. They've also got some decorations for ground forces, so basically to put on your tanks, and you can get these at 3 stars, 6 stars, 9 stars, and 12 stars when it comes to the tanker stars, and they actually have some really cool stuff. The first one is a bicycle. It's a foldable bicycle, obviously designed for airborne troops, so you can go around quickly once you've hit the ground. You also have the M1A1 carbine, which is going to be coming into the game. It's also an enlisted as a late tier award for the Invasion of Normandy campaign for the Americans. You've also got the AK-74U, which is a very stubby AK. It looks really funny to me. Very much looks like a kind of a botched design in a way, where they've just tried to throw a bunch of different ideas together and make a small compact gun. And then also you have a Waffenhalter, which I'm pretty sure is a box that you would drop with paratroopers, which would have like ammunition, guns, and all of that stuff. When I type in Waffenhalter into Google, I get like hangers basically, and also stuff like gun holders. So my guess is that's what it's designed for. But you can get all 4 of these things just by completing the challenges. So if you're going for the vehicles, you'll be getting these anyway. Just make sure to do all 12 challenges instead of just the 10 if you want to be a completionist. They also have decorations for naval, one of them for the small fleet, which you get at level 9, and then one for the large fleets that you get at level 12. Now these are some awesome decorations. I don't know how else to put it. These are amazing. And the great thing about naval when it comes to decorations, because the boats are generally bigger than tanks, you can have bigger machines, right, as decorations. So what you have first is you have a Willys Jeep. You'll be able to have a Willys Jeep on your naval vehicle. I'm guessing this is designed for the small fleet, so the coastal stuff, so you can just have one on deck. Why not? And then the other one, which is fantastic, is a Sherman DD tank, which to me is just amazing. I thought we would get this in game as a playable vehicle, maybe as an event or maybe a battle pass thing, but the fact that we have one in game now is so cool, especially as a person who is really into stuff such as Operation Overlord in general, and the use of the Sherman DDs, especially on D-Day. They've slightly changed some of the tasks for this operation compared to previous ones, but the same structure still applies. So what you have to do is you have to complete 3 tasks out of the 5 in random battles to be able to get yourself one of the stars. And then once you get a specific number of stars, when it comes to the pilot ones, tank ones, or sailor ones, you can get the corresponding thing according to the sheet. So when it comes to the pilot star, Oh, by the way, they do reset every 2 days at 11 GMT. That's basically how they've always worked, so nothing different from the past. The pilot stars, the 5 separate tasks. Remember, you just have to complete 3. Destroy 40 enemies in AB, 20 in RB, 14 in SB, win 9 battles with an activity of 70% or higher, drop 13 tons of bomb TNT on enemy bases in total, destroy 12 enemies in one battle, or 4 in RB and 3 in SB, help allies 13 times to destroy enemy vehicles. So I think these have got slightly harder since the last ones. I feel like the bomb TNT has increased and also maybe the assists. But when I do my critique video, I'll make sure to match them up to the spreadsheet of all of the previous ones. But these still aren't that hard. You know, destroy 12 enemies in one battle, 4 in RB. If you bring specific planes like the P-47 into ground realistic, you can get 2 bomb drops off. That's 2 kills and then 2 air kills. Shouldn't be too hard to do with that. Stuff like the P-51 is also very good with that, killing stuff like AA. Destroy 40 enemies in AB or 20 in RB. This will be done over time. Win 9 battles is the one that, you know, you'll just do over time while trying to do the other ones. Drop 13 tons of bomb TNT on enemy bases in total. This is like really easy to do in Air Arcade. You know, just get a B-29 or something similar, climb really high. Oh, even something like a A2D is really good for this, and just keep bombing bases. You'll be completely fine, and you'll drop 13 tons pretty simply. The tanker stars, you have destroy 50 enemies, win 11 battles with an activity of 70% or higher, destroy 10 enemies while on an allied point, destroy 12 enemies in one battle, 6 in RB, 6 in SB, help allies 25 times to destroy enemy vehicles. So they've got rid of the one which was capture points, if you haven't noticed, and we'll have to see if the aggravation against stuff like the R3T20 is going to still be around after this event. I highly doubt it, since they've basically taken away the challenge which people can meta game with. I'm sure what'll happen is people will find something else to be annoyed about, as always is with these challenges, but we'll find out what that is. At least now it'll be something different instead of the same conversation over, you know, the last few years or so. So overall, I think these are fine. You know, they're very similar to the ones we've had before. I still think destroy 50 enemies is pretty steep, but you should be able to do the rest of them while doing the 50 enemies. Over a 2-day period, 50 enemies is quite a lot. At least you can focus on stuff like battle pass challenges and special tasks while doing this. Then you have the Naval Star. The Naval Star is cause 30,000 damage whilst controlling a naval vessel, win 8 battles, destroy 5 enemies while on an allied point, destroy 8 enemies with torpedoes whilst controlling a vessel or aircraft, and then win a battle in first place in naval battles. I feel like this has got significantly harder after last time. The naval ones were always the easiest ones to do, and they keep pumping them up over and over and over again. So we're going to have to see how that goes. The destroy 5 enemies while on an allied point on the larger maps, which are basically just one massive point, that'll actually be really easy to do. Win the battle in first place, that'll be the one to focus on while trying to do the rest of them. But yeah, I feel this one's going to be a little bit harder than what we've seen previously, but not impossible. It should be okay. And just remember, you just need to complete 3 of these tasks out of 5 in random battles every 2 days, and you'll eventually get the stuff that is there. There's also some terms when it comes to this summer landing event, and they're pretty similar to what we've seen before. So, you know, to complete a task, you have to complete 3 out of the 5 things. Or sorry, to receive a star, you need to complete 3 out of the 5 tasks. You also have to do them in random battles, apart from EC and Assault, in vehicles of rank 3 or higher. And then when it comes to naval, it's rank 2 or higher. So they've, instead of done it by BR or whatever. They're now doing it by rank. This is really good, really positive for Naval. It should be a lot easier to do now. Also, you can find all of the stuff from the Achievements tab and Summer Landing on your account. Just remember that this set of challenges doesn't start until the 6th of August, so we have about a week before to prepare for all these things. And then also, by completing the task win 11 times in combined ground battles, whatever vehicle you finish in, it will count for. So if you finish in a plane, it will count for planes. If you finish in a tank, it will count for ground. In Naval, it doesn't matter what you finish in, it will count as a Naval win. Simple as that. You can also purchase stars if you want. If you miss any, or if you don't want to grind the event, you can just buy them, so you can do that as well. And also, player destruction matters. You can't just go around bopping AI vehicles as well. There's also something for PlayStation and Xbox players. From the 16th of August, PlayStation and Xbox players will be able to exchange decal coupons for similar ones, and the exchange is available in the Workshop Exchange Items Summer Landing area. So this means that there will be duplicates when it comes to this event, especially for decals. This is going to be annoying as hell. Really wish they'd stop doing this, but it is just something that's going to happen. Prizes received in the form of coupons will also be available for trading on the market from the 3rd of September 2021. The time from which the coupon can be traded can be viewed in the game in the coupon description, and the option of the trading each coupon separately depends on the time of its receipt and doesn't depend on the vehicle coupon itself. So those are the terms, and just two things to end with. Remember the Humble Bundle, bundle that's going on, the Take Control bundle. Very good offer. Make sure to pick it up. And also, watch out for their Facebook page when they post how to be able to get the emblem of the 323rd Parachute Ranger Squadron decal. As always, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd like to thank BRFC, Swollen Ostrich, Teddy, John Ryman, Universe A, Conte Baraka, Eugens Terry, Ambrosius McClellan, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, B. Young, Lafouche, Barine, and Samuel Schlick for supporting the channel.